How's it going, guys? I hope you're having a great week so far. This week in our 5 for 5s, we're talking about faith. Now, Jason and Brooks have both given some great object lessons this week, and I'm actually going to continue that trend with yet another object lesson of what faith is like to me. So if you've watched our videos over the past few years, you probably know that I have a really random background in a lot of different areas. What you might not know, though, is that I was actually a high ropes instructor at a summer camp in North Carolina during one of my summers at Clemson. I spent most of that summer hanging around in trees and working a massive climbing wall that we had on property. It was a blast. I loved that summer. And when I got back to school, I kept that love for climbing, rappelling, and my roommates, they shared that with me as well. Now, I'm sure it was totally against school policy, but we would set up anchors and we'd rappel off all kinds of things around campus. The balconies of our apartment complex, we'd find natural rock formations all over the area. One time we even set up an anchor on Lightsey Bridge at Clemson campus and rappelled off the side. I am amazed that we did not get in trouble for that one. But we all survived. We're all good to go. If you've ever climbed or rappelled, you're going to know what I'm talking about and I'm about to share. The scariest moment in rappelling is when you put your weight onto that line, right? You have backed up to the edge and your legs have supported you as far as they possibly can. And that exact moment, you have to trust something other than yourself. You have to trust your anchor, your knots, your harness, and your brake hand to keep you from a nasty fall, right? I don't care how many times you have rappelled, there is still a moment of hesitation as you transition from your weight from your legs to the rope, right? And when I think of faith, I think of that same feeling. We are relying on something that is outside of our control, and it can really be scary. Hebrews 11:1 says, "Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen." And that is exactly what that feeling is like, right? We're hoping that all the contact points in the rappelling system, they work like they're supposed to. We can't keep an eye on every single point as we go down the rope, but we have to trust in the anchor and the rope and the knots and the equipment. In life, we can't see all the variables at play either. We see through the small lens of our life, and we miss so much of the bigger picture. Instead, we have to trust that God is at work in all of those other details, and that is where we have faith. But faith isn't blind, guys. When it comes to rappelling, I have practiced the knots over and over and over again. I've practiced setting up anchors so that I'm confident that they're stable. When the time comes to trust it and put weight on the rope, I know my system is solid. And I wouldn't dream about stepping up to the edge of a cliff with all this equipment and technique that I wasn't familiar with and confident in. We have to do the same in our spiritual lives as well. Faith isn't some blind hope, right? It's a hope that is rooted in the truth of God's word and who it says He is, and is practiced in daily spiritual disciplines so that when the time comes for us to step out into something unknown, we have familiarity with the one who is calling us out into that uncomfortable season or scenario, right? Even if I haven't rappelled or climbed, guys, you can still understand that scary feeling of the unknown. Faith is when we look at the unknown and we trust that God has the details already figured out. The trust is practiced and developed over days and weeks and months in relationship with the living God. Guys, if you're facing something scary right now, have faith that God is at work. And even if you haven't practiced those skills recently, guys, you can start right now. So have a great week, guys, and we will see you all real soon.